No mai haere mai. It's the Huddy Hui. Find Huddy Sports on Instagram and Facebook. huddysports.co.nz. Now let's kōrero.
Kia ora, good evening, and welcome to the Huddy Hui, episode 167, our second episode of the week. Yet last night we brought you episode 166, which was with the victors of the National Under-85 Cup Final, High School Light Bears, with Jared Percival, Jack Owen, and Pat Cody. And you can go back and find that episode back on YouTube. And you can also find it on Spotify as well as this episode, which is live on YouTube and later to be uploaded to Spotify and also iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts from. Well, we're up to round 10 of the NPC, the last of the round robins, and our team, Wellington, well, it's been a shocking season, to be honest, and they are out, and so they've just got to play for pride this Saturday, which we'll talk about after the recording of our interview that I did earlier today. So our guest on the Hui tonight has lit up the scene in the NPC rugby, made his debut for Otago last year on Stag Day, as he's called it. And this season, well, he's just been lighting up the field for his pace, his strength, and his agility. He hails all the way from Kerikeri in Northland, and he's doing his studies down in Otago. He's got just a paper or two left to go, and he's going to talk to us about that. But more importantly about this young man, he's just signed with the Highlanders, and he also scored 2 cracker tries, including a second against Canterbury in the Ranfurly Shield match, which Otago won, and they've locked away the Shield for the summer after beating North Harbour last weekend. Our guest tonight on the Huddy Hui is Lucas Casey, so sit back and enjoy this interview with one of the up-and-coming stars of New Zealand rugby. We're here with Lucas Casey, who has been dominating the NPC season here in 2025. Lucas Casey, many thanks for coming on the Huddy Hui tonight. Well done on the last 2 weeks for Otago. What an experience has it been for you?
Yeah, cheers for having me on. Yeah, it's been awesome. Quite a cool year, different year for me, sort of getting my first sort of proper crack. It's been awesome. I've been loving it.
And the Ranfurly Shield locked away for the summer. How special is it, not just for the team, but for the Otago Rugby Union as a whole?
Yeah, it's massive. I suppose every team sort of obviously wants to win the competition, but has the loggerwood in their mind. So, yeah, to get the job done a couple of weeks back was awesome. And, yeah, to see how much it meant to the province, sort of having a wee entourage when we got to the airport and sort of seeing a lot of people sort of commenting and just letting you know how awesome it was. It was quite cool.
Now, the Shield match against Canterbury a few weeks ago, that was a titanic clash. What were the keys to victory, in particular that second half performance?
Oh, the keys. We knew how sort of classy they've been all season, so we obviously wanted to go up another level and sort of take it to them, and we probably didn't do that in the first half. But I suppose just staying in it and believing was the main thing. We tried to do at halftime, and ultimately, got us over the line in the end.
Now, you scored 2 tries in that match. In particular, your second try was sensational. That set up the win for Otago. Let's talk about that try. It even stunned Andrew Newstub on defence.
Yeah, not too much to say about it. Don't know. I suppose everyone sort of tries to do their bit for the team. So, yeah, just happy enough how it all panned out, I suppose.
Where does your pace come from? Were you a sprinter while you were at secondary school?
I don't know if I could call myself a sprinter. I did a little bit of athletics sort of in the summer just as to try something new, sort of get me around to the rugby season. But yeah, found out pretty quickly I'm definitely not a sprinter. There's some seriously fast people up the country. So, yeah.
Okay. So Otago this season, sitting second on the table with just the 2 losses. What has the team learnt from those 2 losses against Hawke's Bay and Tasman?
Well, they're both obviously very classy sides, but we probably didn't get off to the start that we wanted for both of them. I think both of those games we sort of leaked a couple early tries and then had to claw our way back and probably weren't playing to our strengths sort of throughout those games. So yeah, from round 1 to now, there's been a lot of learning and sort of growth, which has been awesome.
And who are the coaching staff for Otago this season, and what do they bring to the program?
We've got Mark Brown, who's sort of head coach and takes care of the breakdown. We've got Will Henry, who's the forwards coach. Lee Allen, who's the defense coach. Ryan Banbury, who's the attack. And then Mitch Scott, who does a bit of skills work and stuff. Yeah, they've all been awesome. They sort of all get around you and all the different sort of aspects that sort of help grow your game. And yeah, I think they've gelled really good together as a coaching group, which sort of sets us up nicely.
Not only did you beat North Harbour last week and lock away the Shield, it was a milestone achievement for Liam Coltman, 100 games for the province. How special was it to recognise his milestone, also being a Ranfurly Shield match?
Yeah, I suppose obviously knowing that we had to defend that, we equally wanted to win the game for Liam Coltman. I suppose, yeah, 100 games for a province doesn't happen all too much. And he's a great man for our team, great leader. And sort of, yeah, we just want to do the job as he's done so much for Otago over the years.
Now, in round 3, you played our province, Wellington, and yet again, you scored 2 tries that day. Was that a turning point for Otago's season after losing to Hawke's Bay the week before?
Yeah, I think definitely. Yeah, we had a tough loss to Hawke's Bay, obviously, and I think it was a good confidence booster. Yeah, leaving that game, but yeah, I think again they got off to a hot start, and we managed to claw our way back. So that just sort of installed that a bit more belief in us that no matter what happens, if we stay tight, we can try sort of work towards getting a win.
And when was your debut for Otago, and who was it against?
It was last year on Stag Day, so round 1 last year down in Invercargill. So yeah, that was good. Good we hit out. I only got about maybe 15, 20.
There are a lot of us that haven't experienced in Otago, Southland rivalry. What is it like, particularly down there in Invercargill?
Oh, it's awesome, eh? There's nothing quite, well, I haven't been a part of anything quite like it. Sort of the hostility, you sort of know what you're going to expect when you get down there, but the first time you run out and the crowd's absolutely pumping, the terraces going pumping as well. It's an awesome occasion, something you sort of look forward to once you get a taste of it.
When you made your debut for Otago, how did the team recognise your debut after the game?
It was awesome. There was a few of us sort of debuting that day as well, so we all sort of got recognised individually afterwards, which was awesome. Yeah, it was an awesome occasion. A lot of friends and family as well, which was cool.
Now, to cap off a marvellous year for you, you have signed with the Highlanders for the next 2 years, 2026 to 2027. Who persuaded you to sign for the Landers?
I think since moving down here, always wanted to play for the Highlanders, I suppose. I played Highlanders under 20s in my second year. So I suppose just being a part of that group, it's sort of the goal I set out for. So it's quite cool to see it sort of work out.
And you grew up in Northland. Where did your junior rugby begin for you?
Kirikiri Rugby Club in the Bay of Islands. So yeah, owe them a lot as well. Sort of played all my junior rugby there. Yeah.
Beautiful part of the world. What secondary school did you play for in Northland, and what was footy like up there?
I played for Canterbury High School. Yeah, it was probably different to quite a few boys that sort of, there's not too many rugby sort of schools up there. It's sort of just Thornton River, which was awesome. I found just playing with mates was really awesome. It wasn't too serious, which was quite cool. Just sort of enjoying footy, I suppose. But yeah.
What age group teams did you play for before you made the move down south to Dunedin?
I played majority of the rep teams up there, so just the under 13s, under 14s, I think it's 16s and 18s, as well as I played New Zealand secondary schools barbars at twice at the World School Sevens, which was quite cool.
How was that experienced? Playing at the World School Sevens.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, eh? Yeah, really enjoyed it. I love sevens quite a bit, so it was quite cool to sort of be amongst that. Yeah.
2021, you're in the Blues under 18s. How was that experience for you?
I believe that was around. It was more of a paper team
Yeah.
due to COVID,
Yeah.
so we didn't actually. So there wasn't any experience really. But I suppose being named in that, I suppose was a good goal to tick off.
Now, you made the move from Northland down to Dunedin to study at Otago Uni. What are you studying?
I do a commerce degree in majoring in management and marketing. So I've got one more paper this semester, and that'll be ticked off, which is quite good.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent work. Now, the other thing that's unique about you is your journey to professional rugby is seen as being old-fashioned. You haven't been part of any academies, so how did you get picked up by Otago?
Yeah, I suppose, not the traditional academies sort of that some boys get first year out of school, but just played for my club Kaikorai in Dunedin, played Colts in a bit of Prem rugby, and then in my second year there's sort of a HP group that's sort of maybe like a wider Otago squad. So just training with them, which was quite good, and then just progressed over time, I suppose.
How was the club season for your club down there in Dunedin?
Yeah, awesome. Super good. We had a really young team this year, a lot of fresh faces, but we ended up winning the comp, which was quite cool, as I think quite a few people probably wouldn't have expected it at the start of the season. So to sort of get a really young group of boys that sort of enjoyed being around each other and to go the whole way was awesome.
And who did you beat in the final?
We beat the Harbour Hawks. So,
Harbour Hawks,
yeah.
They've won it for the last few years from memory, so that's a good result for your club as well. You also spent a season with North Otago in the Heartland Rugby. When was that, and how was that experience?
Yeah, so in my second year out of school, I played Otago development here, and we played maybe 6 games. Then the season sort of stopped. It sort of stops around this time. There was a few more Heartland games, so I had the opportunity to go up, play a few games for them, which was quite cool, quite a different experience. But enjoyed it. It was quite cool.
What have you learnt from the older members of the Otago team, in particular this season?
I suppose just the way they go about things. Also, the care they have for the jersey. I think seeing them sort of being on their in later parts of their career, or maybe boys moving away, all they want to do is sort of leave the best mark they can, which I think, they're all doing so well this year, which is good for us young boys to sort of look up to and aspire to do.
What are the key strengths of your game?
It's a bit of a tough one. Probably. That's always a tough one to answer. I suppose a bit of my attacking, from a young fella up north, it was quite a free flowing. There wasn't much structure, so I definitely think that sort of has helped me sort of shape the way I play now. Probably my attack. D probably needs a little bit of work, but just don't know, getting around the pitch, I suppose.
Who have been the biggest influences in your rugby journey to date?
My old man, he's a code head through and through. He's been pretty cool. He loves sort of watching me and sort of giving me advice every weekend. He tries to get to most games. Probably just my family. And then someone who went through the Northland ranks, Tom Robinson, who also went to my school. He sort of stayed the whole way through at Kirikiri High School. So it's quite cool to see that someone can sort of kick on from that school. So he's definitely sort of a bit of inspiration as a young fella.
Yeah, exactly right. He had a great career as well too. What, besides probably the Ranfurly Shield match against Canterbury, what has been your most memorable game to date in your rugby career?
Probably Stag Day last year.
Yep.
Debuting. Had friends and family there. I booked my flat. I live in a flat of 9. I got them all a minivan. They sort of made the trek down. It was just awesome. The atmosphere. We didn't win that day, but I just think, it was probably selfishly, that was quite a cool experience for me.
Who is the toughest player you have played against and why?
Toughest player I've played against. Ooh. Can't really think of. Wow, Mark Talia was pretty tough last week.
Yep.
He's pretty slippery.
Yeah, no, he's pretty electric, that's for sure.
Mm.
Is there one game where you've learnt the most about yourself as a player?
I think, maybe just it might sound a bit arrogant, but that Canterbury game, maybe not individually, but just to know when your back's against the wall that you sort of can come through, and to sort of go towards it rather than sort of shying away and trying to wait for someone else to do it, I think. But that was a collective sort of thing. It was quite cool at halftime, backs against the wall, and we sort of managed to dig ourselves out of that. So, yeah, it was a big growth and learning thing for me, I suppose.
Let's talk about the Otago team. Who's your best teammate and why?
Best teammate. Few good teammates going around this year. I suppose Christian Leowilla is not too bad to have in the team. Yeah. You can see every time he plays the impact he has. And he's also great sort of asking for advice as well. So, yeah, he's been pretty big this year for us.
What have you learnt from him since he's been up there on that high level of rugby that you've added to your game?
I think just the workload he gets through during games. He doesn't shy away from it. And like I said before, he sort of goes towards big plays or, making his effort for the team. It's quite cool.
Who's the most annoying in the team?
Most annoying. Probably go. Oh, there's not too many annoying. There's a few funny fellas though. Ben Lopez or Will Tucker, they're both.
Yep.
Pretty, yeah.
We've had Will on the podcast before as well. Yeah. This weekend, you're not down to play against Auckland this Saturday at Auckland Grammar. Why is that?
I've had a wee niggle the last couple of weeks, so we thought might be a good time to just sort of rest it. Heading into the back end of the season, I suppose.
And of course, the team are playing Auckland this weekend. How's the team preparing for this match, where you could potentially finish top of the table or second heading into the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I treat it like every other game, but we know Auckland obviously have nothing to lose, so we're expecting like they're gonna finish the season on a high. So yeah, treating it like every other game, but just sort of preparing for what's to come.
And when do you kick into gear for the Highlanders in Super Rugby pre-season?
I believe it's sort of end of November.
Yeah. And what advice?
So get about a month off.
What advice has Jamie Joseph given to you since you've signed on with the Landers?
He just said to keep doing what I'm doing. He didn't try to tell me how to play rugby or anything like that. He just said, keep doing what you're doing. Don't overcomplicate it.
And alongside yourself, the Highlanders recruited a lot of young players this year, including one from Wellington called Stanley Solomon. Tell us about some of the other young guys that have signed on for next year.
Yeah, I suppose Dylan Pledger probably doesn't need any introduction. He's been whipping the scene up. Well, he has for the last couple of years, but I suppose rip it up NPC this year. And then there's also Josh Tengblad, who's going to be making his debut this weekend, which is awesome for him. He goes well as well.
Well, Lucas, it's been great having you on the Huddy Hui. All the best the rest of the season for Otago, and hopefully your injury, you get over that and you'll be able to play in the finals section of the NPC.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers for having me. Thank you.
That is Lucas Casey, our guest on the Huddy Hui tonight. It was great to catch up and talk to him earlier before we started the recording. And he's a player of immense promise. And watch out for his name next year in Super Rugby Pacific. The Highlanders in general are going to be a very strong team, strong young team next year as well. They've got likes of Stanley Solomon down there. The boy Pledger, that's the halfback, he's outstanding. He could also be a future All Black as well. So, Otago, a win against Auckland, they'll guarantee a top 2 spot, and it depends really if Taranaki beat Canterbury down in Christchurch. They could end up being first on the table potentially. So all to play for in round 10 of the NPC. Well, of course, the Wellington Lions, they've gone from being the champions last year to not even making the 8, and they missed out on a chance of making the top 8 courtesy of Northland's draw with Canterbury last week. So locking out the Lions, and what otherwise be described as a very disappointing season by the Lions. A lot of experienced players. Yes, there are some new ones and some that have gone on to All Black duty, but there's a lot of experienced players in there, and they just haven't clicked this season. That's the best way to describe it. And they have gone up against some teams that have surprised a lot of people as well, in particular. So fortunately for Wellington, they can't defend their title from last year, but there'll be plenty for them to review on what has otherwise been described as a disappointing season for our NPC side. So hopefully they've got pride to play for this Saturday at Porirua Park, Jerry Collins Stadium at 2:05. They're playing the Bay of Plenty Steamers. Of course, they faced them in the final last year and beat them at Sky Stadium. Here, Bay of Plenty, they'll be searching for points to try and get into the top 4. But for Wellington, it's just a matter of salvaging pride for them this season. And they've named, yet again, a rather experienced squad. We've got Cole Preston back at halfback. We've got 2 players coming off on the bench making their debut, Harry Irving and also Leota Johnson as well, coming on for potential debuts. So hopefully they get on the paddock, and hopefully Wellington, of course, can get a win. Let's just hope they can, because it'll be good for them to finish off with some pride at the end of the NPC season, and looking forward into reviewing what comes next in season 2026. Of course, here on Huddy Sports, we always like to thank our sponsors: Mike Pinfold Plumbing and Drain Lane Limited, Louise Reddy of New Zealand Travel Brokers, Gene Hickton and Gavin Murphy and his team for their support, and also to EG Fresh Range Eggs, our new sponsor on the Hui on Huddy Sports this year. And if you're willing to help out Huddy Sports to keep free what we do, head over to huddysports.co.nz, email us at huddysportsnz@gmail.com, or message us on our socials on Instagram and Facebook if you're willing to help out, sponsor, or financially support Huddy Sports to keep free what we do here. Keep it going. It's been a really busy year. If you include the Huddy Huis, including this one tonight, and the games we've done throughout the year, we've done 100 events or games already this year. So it's been an even busier year than last year. So we want to keep that doing. But we also have 2 different types of memberships on YouTube. We've got the $1 membership, which allows you to write in questions on the Huddy Hui to guests that are on. So that costs you $1 a month. The other one is, if we've only done it once this year, is a $7.99 membership to watch a live stream that's behind a paywall. So we want to we want to keep everything free what we do, everyone to watch, but we've also got to pay the bills as well. So we've only to do it again. But if we do heading in over the next new year, we'll let you know. But we're also looking at think about some new options next year as well. Think about new ways that we can create more interactive memberships on YouTube, etc., to get people involved. So we've already got plans in store. Think about what next year could look like in season 2026. So if you're willing to help, message us on our website or huddysportsnz@gmail.com, or our Facebook and Instagram pages. Well, that has been the Huddy Hui for tonight. Many thanks to Lucas Casey coming on the Hui, and hopefully Otago go well for the rest of the season. We'll come back next week with a Huddy Hui, episode 168. And I believe we've probably only got a few more weeks to go before we call the Huddy Hui an end for 2025. But it's we'll be back next week for another one. So make sure you're tuning in there, and keep an eye out for any events that are coming up. Or if you've got any events, just let us know and we'll get back to you. So this has been the Huddy Hui for tonight. I'm Brad Hudson. Ciao for now.
The Huddy Hui. You can find Huddy Sports on Instagram and Facebook, and check out huddysports.co.nz.
Blocked drains, leaky pipes, don't let plumbing problems sideline your day. Call the team. Mike Pinfold Plumbing and Drainlaying Limited. Mike has been our sponsor since the very beginning. From quick fixes to full renovations, he's got the tools, the team, and the know-how to get the job done right. First time, every time. Local, reliable, and always on time. That's how Mike plays the game. Find Mike Pinfold at Pinfold Plumbing at extra.co.nz 027 430 4351. Mike Pinfold Plumbing and Drainlaying Limited. Also Google Mike Pinfold Plumbing and let the pros handle the flow.
Hi, Gavin Murphy here
And Cassie Murphy.
from G and Hickton Funeral Directors.
Don't leave it up to someone else to tell your story. Do it now when you can enjoy being part of the conversation.
With a prepaid funeral, you can have music, readings and venue all chosen by you.
For your free funeral planning pack with everything you need to get started, go to our website at gnhickton.co.nz/pre-planning.
The Huddy Hui. Huddy Sports captivating sports show. The Huddy Hui covers Wellington Club Rugby as well as other sporting topics of debate. Tune in on YouTube during the rugby playing months as host Brad Hudson interviews rugby players and other sporting personalities across the Wellington region and the rest of New Zealand. Catch the Huddy Hui streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and wherever good yarns are heard. The Huddy Hui live on Huddy Sports. Here at Huddy Sports, we love a good game plan. And when it comes to travel, our go-to is Louise Reddy from New Zealand Travel Brokers. Whether it's a sports tour, a family break, or that bucket list trip, she'll get you there stress-free with all the best deals around. She's local, she's experienced, and she backs the game like we do, and she's a great supporter of Huddy Sports. Look up Louise Reddy at louisereddy.nztravelbrokers.co.nz or email louise@louise.reddy@newzealandtravelbrokers.co.nz. Travel smart and travel like a pro. As here on Huddy Sports, we're always wanting to keep our content free on YouTube. So the idea of sponsors, we can promote you on live stream, our social media pages and our website. It's good to support the local community and helps keep Huddy Sport free for all to watch. So if you're interested to helping Huddy Sports, go to huddysports.co.nz or to our email address, huddysportsnz@gmail.com. Ciao for now.